God says, listen very carefully to this because the weight of what is unfolding cannot be measured by ordinary words and time is moving faster than you think. Even as you read these lines, Archangel Michael is at your side, his presence heavy with a mixture of sorrow and power because the truth that has been hidden from you for so long is no longer in hiding. God says, I have kept this from you until the very hour when it would do the most good and protect your soul. You must not tell anyone yet because the moment you speak before the right time, the forces that are desperate to destroy you will move in ways you cannot imagine. This is very serious. This is not like the warnings you have brushed aside in the past. This is the kind of message that comes when heaven itself trembles with urgency. Archangel Michael says, do not skip this. Do not take this lightly because your life and your destiny are intertwined with what has just happened in the world beyond your immediate sight. Authorities have just solved a high-profile case. One that has been whispered about in secret corridors and shouted about in newsrooms, but has been hidden from you by the very people you trusted. In the bright light of truth, someone was arrested. And the one who now sits behind bars is someone whose face you know, whose voice you have heard, whose presence has brushed against yours like a shadow you thought you understood but never really did. God says, I am revealing this to you not to destroy you, but to liberate you, to make you see the divine hand moving even through the darkest human affairs. You have felt the strange trembling in your spirit these past nights. The sleepless hours. The moments where a sudden thought came to you like a whisper you could not explain. That was not just your mind. That was Michael trying to reach you. He is begging you now even as you read to let this message sink into the deepest part of your heart. He says you must prepare yourself for a shock because the person arrested in this case is not a distant stranger. It is someone whose name has been spoken in your prayers. Someone who has stood near you in life's storms. Someone who may have carried a secret so heavy that their soul bent under its weight. God says the veil is lifting and I am exposing this because the time of hidden things has ended. Even now the enemy would love for you to dismiss this, to think it is a mistake or an exaggeration, to close your eyes and go on as before. But I, the Lord, am speaking directly into your spirit. You are not reading by chance. This is written to you because heaven has chosen this very moment to open your eyes. I know your doubts, your questions, the ache you carry. I know how many times you have been warned about things that later prove true. This is one of those times. Archangel Michael's sword is drawn not to harm but to cut away the illusions that have surrounded you. This case that has just been solved. This high-profile matter that has shaken powerful rooms was not random. Threads of corruption, deceit, and hidden deals were tied to it. And your life has been brushing against those threads without you even realizing it. The arrest was not simply an act of justice. It was an act of divine timing. Heaven allowed the authorities to reach this conclusion at the exact hour when you were ready to receive the truth. The one arrested, this is the part that you must hold in silence for now. is tied to you by blood, by memory, by history. It is someone you have wept for, someone you have defended in your mind even when whispers accused them. Someone you never imagined would be connected to such darkness. God says, breathe because I am with you in this revelation. Archangel Michael says, the reason you are being told not to speak is because speaking too soon would place you in unnecessary danger. Forces still move in the shadows around this case. Not everyone involved has been exposed. There are still eyes watching, ears listening, traps being set for the unwary. But you are under divine protection and nothing will touch you as long as you follow the instructions given from above. Do not speak, do not reveal, do not let your emotions drive you into rashness. Pray instead. Pray with the raw honesty you have when no one is looking. Pray and ask for wisdom, for strength, for the courage to see what is true even when it hurts. God says, my child, I have not abandoned you. This is part of your deliverance. This is why the nights have been restless. Why you have felt the invisible hands of destiny turning the pages of your life. You are being called to a higher place. A place of clarity. A place where you will see not only who others are but who you truly are. The person arrested, the high-profile case, the hidden ties, all of it is part of a tapestry you have been living inside without realizing. Today, the edges of the tapestry are being pulled back. Today, light is streaming through the cracks. Archangel Michael stands weeping, not because you are in danger, but because he has carried this message for so long. Waiting for you to be ready. He knows the weight of it will crush your illusions, but he also knows it will free you. He says you are stronger than you think. He says, you were chosen for this time because your spirit can hold what others cannot. He says, the truth is always heavier than lies, but it is also the only thing that can lift you up. God says, I am with you. I will not leave you as you walk through this valley of revelation. Every tear you cry will be counted. Every tremor of your heart will be seen. Every breath you take in this moment is wrapped in divine attention. And now the first thread is pulled. Imagine a name, a face, someone close enough that your heart flinches at the thought. That is where this story is headed. That is why you have been brought here. Heaven will not humiliate you. Heaven will heal you. But healing always begins with exposure. Exposure of secrets, exposure of motives, exposure of hidden connections. This is that hour. This is why you feel the electricity of urgency in your body right now. That is Michael pressing close, wings outstretched, shielding you from what could have been far worse if it had not been stopped in time. God says you will survive this. You will emerge from this with clarity and strength. You will know who is for you and who is against you. You will see the masks fall. You will finally understand why you were warned. Why you were restless, why your dreams were troubled. This is the beginning of the end of confusion. This is the moment when heaven leans close and whispers, I have you even here. God says this is not a casual whisper. It is not a simple word to make you curious. It is a trembling moment where the heavens are open and my spirit is leaning close to your ear because what is happening around you is bigger than what your eyes have seen and your heart has suspected. This is very serious. Archangel Michael says, you are not aware. And I am commanding him not to leave your side while I speak. He says, keep this to yourself. Do not tell anyone until I instruct you because the weight of what is being revealed carries consequences you cannot yet measure. For months and even years, threads have been pulled in secret, papers signed, actions taken in shadows. And now, in the full daylight of this moment, the truth has been dragged into the open and the authorities have solved the high-profile case. You did not even know the case was connected to you because it was hidden behind coded names, false stories, and sealed files. But the one arrested is from your own bloodline. I will not let you be harmed by their choices. But I will not hide from you what is already being shouted in the courts of heaven. Archangel Michael is standing before me even as I speak this. His sword lowered but his eyes wet with compassion for you because he has watched the pain you have walked through without understanding. He has watched you pray for justice. He has watched you pray for protection. He has watched you pray for breakthrough, and now that the answer is unfolding, it feels almost unbearable because you did not imagine that the hand that would be exposed would be one so close to you. You are not at fault. This is not punishment. This is protection. This is divine exposure. This is the moment when heaven's gavel strikes and says enough. This is the moment when what was plotted against you collapses under its own weight. This is why I have been whispering to you in your dreams. Why you have been waking at strange hours with a heaviness on your chest. Why you have been seeing repeating numbers and signs that you could not explain because the moment of revelation was drawing close and now it is here. Do not run. Do not panic. Do not pick up your phone to tell someone because not everyone around you can handle what you are about to handle. I, the Lord your God, am handling it with you. I am placing Michael at your right hand and I am placing a wall of fire around you so that no word spoken against you will stand. The arrest you are hearing about is not a small story on the news. It is connected to decisions that were meant to divert your destiny. For years, people have been investing energy to keep you small, to keep you quiet, to keep you blind. But my light is not only exposing them, it is lifting you. Michael is saying over and over in your spirit, do not skip this. Do not ignore this. Do not doubt this. This is very important for you. You can almost feel his urgency like a wind on your skin. He is holding a scroll with your name on it. On that scroll is written the timeline of events as heaven has recorded them. The false contracts, the hidden money, the whispers that accused you, the signatures of those who betrayed you, the people who smiled at you in public but undermined you in secret. You did not know they were under investigation because heaven shields the righteous while justice is being prepared. But last night the gavel fell, the chain clicked, the doors closed behind the one arrested, and the case is solved. I am telling you this not to make you afraid but to strengthen you. You have been feeling alone. You have been feeling like your prayers went unanswered. You have been feeling like nothing was moving. But the very slowness you resented was my patience gathering every detail so that when I moved it would be undeniable. Even now there are angels moving around your home. Angels stationed at your workplace. Angels whispering to people who will soon come forward to testify on your behalf. Even now, Michael is ordering other angels to seal certain documents so that your name is not dragged into a scandal that you had no part in. Even now there is a wind of restoration blowing toward you. Lost opportunities returning. Lost resources being tracked back to you. Lost trust being rebuilt in a way that will be stronger than before. Child, listen. This is not a message for everyone. This is for you. This is not a chain message. This is a lifeline. This is not a vague prophecy. This is a specific intervention. The one arrested was your relative. The same one you once defended. The same one who once borrowed from you. The same one whose name you did not want to hear tarnished. But they chose their path. They made their agreements. They tried to involve your name, but heaven intervened. You were protected. You are still protected. The shame that is falling on them will not fall on you. The consequences they face are theirs alone. You will feel the tremor of it, but not the destruction. You will hear the echo, but not the collapse. I am separating you from what they did. I am cleansing your name, I am setting you apart. Michael says there is more you need to know, and he is holding it back until your heart is steady. He is saying to you right now in the quiet of your spirit, breathe. You are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. God is with you. Trust Him. Pray to Him. This is the sentence He wants burned into you tonight. This is the sentence you will need to whisper to yourself when the news breaks wider. When people start asking questions, when the temptation to defend or explain arises, you do not need to defend yourself. Heaven has already spoken for you. You do not need to explain yourself. The evidence will speak. You do not need to fear the future. I am already there. Even as I speak to you, other parts of your life are shifting. People who once doubted you will apologize. Doors that were closed will open. Invitations you thought you missed will return. But above all this, I want you to feel my nearness. I want you to feel Michael's nearness. I want you to understand that this is a holy moment. The case is solved. The arrest is done. But your story is just beginning. The darkness tried to write your ending, but I am rewriting it. Do not tell anyone yet. Do not rush to social media. Do not even drop hints. Wait, pray. Listen, watch. I will show you step by step what to do. Who to speak to, how to position yourself. This message is to anchor you so that you are not blindsided when the headlines appear or when your phone rings. You will not faint. You will not collapse. You will stand, and when you stand, others will know there is a God who still speaks, who still defends, who still exposes, who still saves. Michael is leaning close, whispering your name. He is saying, "This is your turning point. This is your deliverance. This is your vindication. You have waited for this moment for so long. You have cried for this moment. You have begged me to show you the truth. And now I have. You will not go through this alone. You will see my hand. You will see my justice. You will see my protection, and when the dust settles, you will see my blessing. I am with you. I am for you. I am not against you. I am holding you. I am instructing Michael to hold you. Nothing will go wrong with you. Trust me. Pray to me. Stay quiet until I tell you to speak." The one arrested made their choices. You are free. God says this message is not ordinary. This is being poured out into your life at this very moment because heaven wants you to hear it clearly. This is a message that is not for the crowd. It is for you alone. Heaven is moving even now. Archangel Michael is standing very near to you as these words come. He is whispering with a trembling voice because the urgency is real. There is something that has been hidden from you for a very long time. And now God Himself is bringing it into the light. God says, "Do not be afraid, my child. What you are about to hear is serious, but it is given to you so that you may be protected, strengthened, and uplifted. Nothing will harm you as long as you remain under my wings. Even as you read, a calm yet powerful presence surrounds you and your spirit can feel it. Heaven is closer to you than your very breath." God says a high-profile case that has been hidden from public eyes, covered with secrecy and darkness, has now been solved. The one arrested is not a stranger to you. This news has been shielded from you because the impact is huge. But I, the Lord, reveal it now to prepare your heart. This message is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to equip you. The shock you feel is only temporary, but my protection is eternal. Even the angels who stand guard over your life are holding you now so that the revelation does not break you. Archangel Michael's voice is filled with warning but also filled with love. He says this is very important. Don't tell anyone yet. This is only for you. Heaven has decided to disclose it to you first so that you are not blindsided. For years, unseen forces have been moving in the shadows around your life. Conversations you never heard, plans you never saw, plots you never imagined have been swirling. God says, but I saw it all. I have counted every tear. I have watched every injustice. And now I have decided to reveal and expose. This exposure is not just about the person who was arrested. It is about an entire network of hidden actions, betrayals, and lies that have been orbiting you. God says this is why you have felt heaviness lately. This is why you have sensed something was wrong. Even when everyone around you said everything was fine, your spirit felt the trembling of truth, trying to break free. Even as the authorities moved, heaven moved first. Nothing on earth happens without heaven's awareness. God says, before the police moved, I moved. Before the case was solved, I had already written the outcome. Before the handcuffs closed, I had already freed you from their grip. There is something almost shocking about how quickly this has unfolded. It may feel like a dream, but it is real. Heaven's timeline is different from Earth's, and you are standing inside of a prophetic moment. Archangel Michael says, "My beloved, do not panic." The one arrested is connected to your story, but their arrest is not your end. This is your beginning. You are not to fear disgrace, shame, or confusion. You are to stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. This revelation is not a curse. It is a release. This is your divine release from what was hidden. Even though the news sounds heavy, it is actually your liberation. God says, I know your heart is racing. I know you are wondering why me, why now? But I say to you, nothing happens by accident in your life. You were chosen to be warned, to be prepared, to be strengthened. You are not a victim. You are a survivor. You are not powerless. You are protected. Even now, as you read, your angels are standing guard, forming a circle of light around you. No harm will come to you because you are being covered by the wings of the Almighty. God says there are things you do not yet know about this person who has been arrested. They have been living a double life. They have been speaking one thing to you and doing another behind your back. Their arrest was not random. It was orchestrated by justice, and my hand was behind it. They had been warned many times, but they refused to change. They had been shown mercy, but they rejected it. Now the time for hiddenness has ended. Archangel Michael is looking at you as you read this. He says, I fought for you when you didn't even know there was a battle. I stood at the gates of your life holding my sword, cutting down the forces that tried to reach you. This person's arrest is not only a legal event. It is a spiritual turning point. Heaven has declared you free from their shadow. Heaven has declared you untouchable. God says, be still and know that I am God. Even though the world is shaking around you, I am unshakable. Even though this news may seem unbelievable, my truth will always stand. The authorities may have acted on evidence, but I acted on truth long before. I am showing you that I am not distant from your pain. I am deeply involved in your rescue. This is not the time to speak to everyone about what you have learned. God says, guard your heart. Guard your lips. Not everyone who smiles at you can handle your truth. This is why heaven said, don't tell anyone yet. This is why Michael said, this is for you only because what is being revealed now will have ripple effects. It is not for the public yet. It is for your preparation. Even as you sit with this message, you may feel warmth in your hands or a strange calm settling over your mind. That is heaven's confirmation. That is the Spirit whispering, I am with you. You are not alone. You are safe. God says, I will turn this shocking revelation into your stepping stone. You will walk out of this with more wisdom, more strength, and more clarity than ever before. The very thing that was meant to confuse you will end up confirming my hand over your life. The very thing that was supposed to destroy your faith will deepen your trust in me. This is your moment of awakening. Archangel Michael says, I have cried for you in the secret places of heaven. I have interceded for you when you thought no one cared. I have guarded your sleep, stood at your door, walked beside you. This is not the end. This is the beginning of your safety, your healing, and your vindication. Heaven celebrates your deliverance even as earth processes the arrest. God says, you will not be harmed. You will not be disgraced. You will not be forsaken. You will rise from this moment with power and with peace. The truth that was hidden is now in the open. And my light will guide your every step. Trust me. Pray to me. Walk with me. Even though this message is heavy, it carries a promise. The promise is that God has already gone ahead of you. The promise is that angels are already encamped around you. The promise is that no weapon formed against you will prosper. As you take a deep breath now, know that heaven is holding you. The fear that tried to creep into your heart cannot stay because love is stronger than fear. God's love is surrounding you. Archangel Michael's protection is surrounding you. God says, this is why I told you to trust me. This is why I told you to pray. Because in prayer, you are strengthened. In prayer, you are shielded. In prayer, you are aligned with my will. Do not skip prayer now. Even a whisper from your lips reaches my throne. This is your urgent message. This is your private revelation. The authorities have acted, but heaven has already sealed your safety. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are under the wings of the Most High. Trust God. Pray to Him. He is with you now. God says this moment is not ordinary. God says this message is being poured into your hands with trembling urgency, with a seriousness that only heaven itself can understand. God says, Archangel Michael is at your side as this is written. His wings spread wide, his eyes burning with the light of truth, whispering urgently, do not take this lightly. Do not turn away. Do not skip this. God says, this is not a random chain of words. This is a living river of revelation flowing to you right now because something has shifted in the unseen world. God says He has watched the hours, the minutes, the seconds that have brought you to this point. He knows the nights you could not sleep, the mornings you woke up with an inexplicable weight on your chest, the sense that something was hidden and about to be revealed. God says the veil is tearing now. God says that in a place you cannot yet see, authorities on earth have solved the high-profile case. This was not a small matter. It was not a simple misunderstanding. This case involved people of power, people who thought they could escape human justice and divine eyes alike. They thought their deeds were buried too deep, their schemes woven too cleverly, their trails erased too thoroughly. But God says nothing is hidden from Him. Nothing whispered in darkness escapes His hearing. Nothing signed in secret escapes His record. Nothing given under the table can bribe heaven. God says the arrest has been made. God says the one who has been taken away in custody is someone you would never have imagined. God says this is where your heart begins to tremble because this person is not a stranger. God says this person carried your name in their mouth, your picture in their hand, your story in their schemes. God says you are protected, but you needed to know that heaven saw it first. God says, Archangel Michael has been stationed near you for months, diverting attacks you didn't even know were being planned, blocking accidents that were being arranged, turning curses into dust before they could reach you. God says, the enemy who smiled at you, the one who pretended loyalty, the one who whispered, trust me, while building a trap, has been exposed. The authorities of earth have acted because heaven moved first. God says the arrest is not a coincidence. It is a sign. God says, listen carefully now. He says, you are safe. You are surrounded by light. But you must understand the gravity of what was happening. For too long, you doubted your instincts. You doubted the nudges in your spirit. You explained away the warnings as paranoia. God says that was not paranoia. That was His Spirit sounding the alarm inside you. But the enemy cloaked themselves in familiarity. God says this is very serious. This message is not meant to frighten you but to deliver you from the last residue of deception. God says do not tell anyone yet. Do not broadcast this. Hold it quietly in your heart. Pray. God says Archangel Michael's voice is strong over you right now. He says, child, heaven has stepped in. We have been fighting on your behalf when you did not know. We have been intercepting documents, shifting timelines, exposing lies. Michael says this is the hour of exposure. Michael says the arrest is the physical sign of a spiritual victory. Michael says the chains you felt in your sleep were real, but now they are broken. Michael says do not ignore this. Michael says lean into prayer. God says your heart may feel heavy because the arrested person is not just someone. God says they are connected to you. It may be by blood, by friendship, by history, by trust. God says you must release the guilt you feel at their downfall. You did not cause it. God says their choices brought them to this moment. God says your role is to stay under His wings, to forgive, to pray, and to let His justice roll like waters. God says you are not to interfere with the process, not to try to rescue them, not to try to explain away the truth. God says the truth is the truth. God says He is your shield and your exceedingly great reward. God says the reason you are still standing, the reason you were not caught in the same net, the reason their plan failed to harm you is because He intervened. God says every tear you cried at night was not wasted. It was counted as a petition in the courts of heaven. God says every prayer you prayed, even when you felt weak, became an arrow in the hands of angels. God says that is why the case broke open. Why the investigators found the evidence. Why the timing aligned. God says there are still things hidden that will soon come to light. God says this arrest is only the first piece. God says He will not allow you to walk blindly anymore. God says the days of subtle manipulation are over. God says you will begin to dream more clearly. God says you will feel His Spirit guiding you away from conversations, away from meetings, away from false alliances. God says trust this guidance. God says you may feel a mixture of shock and relief. That is normal. God says lean into Him. Let Him be your counselor now. God says you may be tempted to reach out, to ask why, to demand answers, but He says wait. In due time, the full story will unfold. For now, your role is to stay in prayer, to stay in trust, to stay in peace. God says even though this is serious, even though it sounds heavy, you are safe. God says you are under His covering. God says nothing will go wrong with you. God says He will be with you when you wake up, when you walk out the door, when you sit at your desk, when you lie down at night. God says His angels encamp around you. God says no weapon formed against you will prosper. God says this message is your confirmation, your reassurance, your sign that heaven is ahead of you and behind you. God says remember His promises. God says He will give you beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. God says this exposure, though painful, is a form of deliverance. God says you have been asking Him to remove certain obstacles, to reveal certain enemies. God says He has done so. God says thank Him now for what you cannot yet see with your natural eyes. God says the days ahead will be filled with signs. God says look for the small confirmations phrases you overhear, scriptures that come to mind. Sudden peace where there used to be anxiety. God says each will be a whisper of His reassurance. God says Archangel Michael will continue to guard you. Michael says he has been assigned to you for this season. Michael says his sword is still drawn. Michael says you are not alone. God says, do not be afraid of dreams you may have tonight. God says, if you see visions of people being taken away, if you see locks being opened, if you see shadows leaving, do not be afraid. God says He is showing you in symbolic form what is happening. God says pray over your dreams and ask for clarity. God says He will give it. God says there are prayers He wants you to pray now. Pray for truth. Pray for protection. Pray for release from every hidden snare. Pray for the arrested person's soul, that they would repent, that they would turn, that they would find mercy. God says, do not pray for their schemes to succeed, but pray for their hearts to change. God says, this is how you remain in His love while standing in His justice. God says remember how Jesus prayed for those who heard Him even from the cross. God says that is your model. God says forgiveness is not approval. God says you can forgive while still allowing consequences. God says do not harden your heart, but do not lower your guard. God says walk in wisdom. If heaven even noticed, God has collected them all. And now they are about to return as a harvest of sudden miracles. You may not understand how it will happen. But know this. Heaven never delays what is yours. Tonight at 12:12, the hand of God will cross the threshold of your home and everything will shift. Do not let doubt whisper to you. Do not let your mind trick you into thinking this is not for you. You are the one chosen to hear this, and that means you are the one chosen to receive it. A sudden miracle means it will not follow human logic. It will come quickly like light breaking through darkness. It may be in the form of money that was blocked, love that was hidden, peace that was stolen, or opportunities you thought were gone forever. Heaven is about to deliver what belongs to you, and no one can stop it. Stay connected until the end of this message, because within it lies the key to unlock what God has already prepared. Tonight at 12:12 a.m. your story changes. Heaven has already declared congratulations. Now it is your moment to receive it. Type Amen in the comments if you receive this blessing. Share this message with faith, because someone close to you also needs to hear it. And stay with me till the very end, because what I will reveal next will keep your heart burning with hope and expectation. My beloved child, let your heart be still and your ears open. For what I am about to tell you carries the fragrance of heaven. Tonight, exactly at 12:12 a.m., a door that has been locked for so long is opening for you. The angels are already standing by, preparing to deliver what has been stored in the treasure rooms of God with your name engraved upon it. This is not chance, not accident, but a divine appointment that cannot be postponed or cancelled. You have waited. You have prayed. You have endured storms that others never even saw. And tonight, your waiting collides with heaven's timing. Child of destiny, do you realize why heaven chose 1212? Because it is the number of divine completion, the hour where cycles end and new ones begin. Midnight marks endings, but it also births beginnings. At 12:12, as the old clock strikes and time folds into silence, heaven will release a miracle so sudden that you will not have words to explain it. You will only know in your heart that it came directly from God. Beloved, this is why you were not meant to scroll past this message. For it was written into the story of your life that you would hear this exact voice reminding you of the promise. I see the angels gathering around your home. They are carrying scrolls of light, each sealed with the golden signature of God. On one scroll is your name written with fire that cannot be erased. On another scroll are the promises that were delayed, the blessings that felt stolen, the joy that was hidden behind layers of sorrow. And tonight, those scrolls are being delivered straight into your life. You will see signs, a sudden phone call, a door opening, a breakthrough that comes without explanation. These are not coincidences. They are heaven's language. My beloved child, you have been tested by silence. But silence is not denial. God has been preparing your miracle in hidden places like a seed buried deep in soil, waiting for the perfect season to rise. Tonight at 12:12 a.m., that seed bursts into harvest. The breakthrough that felt impossible will walk into your house, not with noise, but with peace. And when it comes, you will know without doubt that heaven remembered you. Do not be discouraged by what you see around you now. Darkness always deepens just before the dawn. But heaven is whispering over your name. Congratulations. Not tomorrow, not someday far away, but tonight. A sudden miracle means unexpected joy, unstoppable favor, unimaginable blessings. What you thought was lost will be restored. What you thought was closed will open. What you thought was finished will begin again. Stay till the end of this message. For every word is a thread of light woven into your destiny. And as you hear these words, open your heart wide. Because tonight you are not just listening, you are receiving. This is not just a prophecy. This is a delivery. The heavens are pouring a sudden miracle into your house at 12:12 a.m. And when it comes, no one will take it away from you. Type Amen in the comments if you feel heaven touching your spirit right now. Share this with faith so another heart will not miss their moment. Stay connected because what unfolds next will take your breath away. My beloved child, tonight is not ordinary. It carries the breath of heaven and the sound of a miracle about to be born. When the clock touches 12:12 a.m., the universe itself will pause to honor what God is sending into your house. You have been asking, waiting, crying, hoping. But tonight, waiting turns into receiving. The silence you once felt will be broken by the arrival of blessings that will not only touch your hands, but will also overflow into every corner of your life. This is why heaven made sure you are here reading, listening, and not skipping, because your miracle is written into this very moment. Beloved, imagine the angels as messengers of light, moving swiftly through the night sky, carrying packages sealed with God's authority. One carries peace you have longed for, another carries financial release, another carries restoration of relationships, and another carries healing of the unseen wounds in your heart. These angels have been dispatched with urgency, and at 12:12 a.m. they arrive at your door. Your house, your name, your life is their destination. When the miracle lands, you will feel it in your spirit first. Then you will see signs in your physical world confirming it was real. This is not imagination. This is heaven fulfilling a promise. Child of destiny, you have been through seasons where it seemed everyone else was receiving, but you were being overlooked. You saw doors close, people walk away, and dreams feel distant. But tonight, at 12:12 a.m., the unseen handwriting of God is rewriting your story. No longer overlooked, but chosen. No longer delayed, but accelerated. No longer waiting outside, but stepping in. You are about to step into the very blessings that others thought you could never hold. God has kept them safe until the perfect moment, and that moment is tonight. Listen carefully, because this is not about chance or luck. The number 12 carries heavenly meaning, authority, completion, and divine order. And here it comes doubled 12:12. That is heaven's way of stamping your life with confirmation. It means the season that was incomplete is now complete. The waiting that felt endless has reached its end. The tears you cried have been bottled. And tonight those bottles are poured out as rivers of joy. A sudden miracle is not just one blessing. It is a chain reaction that touches every area of your life. My beloved child, prepare your heart and your home. Whisper gratitude even before it happens. Say thank you to heaven before you see it with your eyes. Because faith is the bridge that allows the miracle to walk straight into your room. If you believe even now, you are already unlocking the door for angels to enter. Do not take lightly that you are hearing this now. Millions did not, but you did. That alone is a sign that heaven is focused on you. Beloved, tonight when the midnight hour shifts to 12:12, close your eyes and breathe deeply. In that silence, imagine a golden light filling your room. That light is not imagination. It is presence. It is the confirmation that heaven is touching your life in real time. And when you wake tomorrow, things will begin to align in ways that will leave you amazed. Emails, calls, opportunities, messages, all carrying the fragrance of your miracle. This is your night and nothing can take it away. Stay till the end of this message because heaven's voice is not done speaking to you. This is only the beginning of what you are about to receive. And as you hold on to this word, type Amen in the comments. Share this so that someone else may not miss their blessing, and prepare yourself for the sudden miracle written in your destiny. Tonight at 12:12, my beloved child, tonight carries a secret rhythm, a melody of heaven that only those who are chosen can hear. At exactly 12:12 a.m., when the world sleeps and silence covers the earth, a divine current begins to flow straight into your home. This current is not ordinary. It is charged with miracles, blessings, and breakthroughs written with your name in the book of destiny. You may think you have been forgotten, but tonight heaven is about to prove that you have been remembered all along. The reason you are here listening to these words is because God made sure this message would find you at the right time. Beloved, I see in the Spirit a table being prepared for you. On this table are things that were delayed. Contracts, letters, unexpected financial blessings, reconciliations, and healing you never thought would come. Angels are setting it before you, arranging it beautifully. And at 12:12 a.m., they will uncover the cloth and present it to you. This moment is not just a random hour. It is the midnight gate of heaven. And you, my child, have been chosen to pass through it and receive what generations before you prayed for but never saw. Child of light, you must understand that when God says sudden miracle, it means no effort of man, no strategy of the world, no plan of yours could bring it. It comes straight from the Father's heart. Tonight, your story bends toward light. Your path straightens and your name rises before the throne like incense. Heaven has called this night congratulations because your tears are about to be exchanged for laughter. You will wake tomorrow and realize that something invisible has